Back to school. Somebody say back to school. Back to school. Awesome. I'm so glad that you turned out today. I'm so glad for the people that I know are traveling in Pennsylvania and elsewhere that are watching online in real time. And it's so neat when technology can allow us to stay together even as we're traversing. I'm glad that people take the time out of their day on Sunday, out of their day on Saturday to just give of that time and help set up things and create this opportunity, create this safe haven, create this hospital for those of us that really need it. Back to school is not only where we are now, but back to school is the season and series we're in. Back to school. And then I thought in the spirit of being back to school, I thought it would be just so fitting if we took a pop quiz. Yay! A pop quiz. I know that brings out awesome sauce in everyone, right? Everybody's excited. But seriously, I think this is a very, very important pop quiz. I have 5 true and false statements questions that I'm going to ask you. And I want you to kind of keep track. If you've got something to write down, write with, that would be awesome. But keep track of these things, these answers that come up in your mind. So question number 1, true or false? Not everyone who believes in God goes to heaven. Not everyone who believes in God goes to heaven. True or false? Question 2, everyone who claims to know Jesus will go to heaven. True or false? Question 3, true belief in God is always reflected by obedience to God. True or false? True or false? Number 4, good works is not the source of our salvation, but rather the evidence of our salvation. True or false? And lastly, number 5, you can never, ever know for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, that you are going to heaven. True or false? You can never know for sure if you are truly going to heaven. There are questions that keep coming up and that James is helping us wrestle through, these questions that James today will answer all 5 of those in chapter 2, James chapter 2. This is an examination of that every person needs to take eventually. Those 5 questions, and probably so many more, but those 5 questions are an examination that every single person needs to take and process and wrestle with and examine eventually. But every person needs to take this time of self-examination to make certain that you're going to heaven. To make certain your destination. Today, I'm going to ask you to really seriously and humbly and honestly to do some self-introspection. And we need to make certain that we know that heaven is our destination. And I want to start by looking at what it says in 2 Corinthians 13:5. 2 Corinthians 13:5 says, test yourselves. Test yourselves to see if you are in the faith. Examine yourselves. He's followed it up twice now. Test yourself and examine yourself. Test yourself and examine yourself. In other words, don't wait for me to ask. Don't think I'm supposed to somehow decide that for you. Test yourself to see if you are in the faith. Examine yourselves. Or do yourselves not recognize that Jesus Christ is in you unless you fail the test? You know, another way that could be written is until you fail the test. Test yourselves now, examine yourselves now, Or are you living a life that's deceiving yourself so that you couldn't even recognize if he was with you, or more importantly, if he's not with